What are you guys doing out here?
Well, we have some college students from St. Peter's College from Jersey City, New Jersey, and two professors, one from Detroit, one from St. Peter's College. And they've come here to the American campus, the American University campus, because we do believe that the only thing that is going to prevent us from further crimes like Guantanamo and what's going on at Bagram Air Base today is an informed public. And one of the things that we've been in front of the White House, part of Witness Against Torture's 100 Days campaign to shut down Guantanamo every day. And so on the 50-some-odd day that we are in, we've talked to a lot of people. And it is routinely the case that the people who react angrily to speaking out in favor of, in terms of our Constitution, international law, and the plight of the detainees, people who are angry at that are angry because they have a lot of misconceptions about the prisoners who is actually at Guantanamo. One of the things that the American people have not even been willing to accept, or have not heard very much from the media, is that the vast majority of the detainees at Guantanamo were guilty of nothing but being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Less than 1% of the detainees at Guantanamo were picked up by the U.S. military on a battlefield. Only 5% were picked up by the U.S. military at all. 86% of the Guantanamo detainees were picked up by Pakistani intelligence and turned over for very large bounties or warlords from the Northern Alliance. So they turned in sort of whoever they could, mostly foreigners. All of this continues to be, the suffering of the detainees goes on. The majority of the detainees are still in solitary confinement. They are not able to contact their families. They get one phone call home a year. There are 45 prisoners on hunger strike. 35 of those prisoners are being force-fed twice a day. Very delicate medical procedure. There have been innumerable allegations of abuse of that procedure. They run plastic tubing up the nose, through the sinuses, down the esophagus, and into the stomach. The detainees have said that is routinely ripped out of them when it was taken out of them, that they're using overlarge cords the size of a pinky finger, that they use no lubrication or anesthesia to numb the system and make it go down more easily, that they use diuretics, forcing the prisoners to defecate on themselves after they have fed. And the American Medical Association, of course, believes that it is illegal and unethical for physicians when people are in their right minds to refuse force feeding. Mr. Obama could end all of that with a phone call, and yet he hasn't done so. The Department of Defense, as you may well know, Secretary of Defense Gates and then Eric Holder have maintained before the American people that Guantanamo was up to the standards of the Geneva Convention. The American civil liberties, instead of constitutional rights, they've been the heroes of the habeas struggle 1-3 times. They deemed that report whitewash. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Human Rights First, the American Civil Liberties Union, petitioning the Obama administration to have some humanitarian assessment of Guantanamo. All that said, Guantanamo is the best foreign prison that we run. Conditions have always been worse. Methods of torture have always been worse at the Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan. Now 640 prisoners in Bagram. You never had even allegations of electroshock at Guantanamo. Regular allegations of electroshock at Bagram. Things like injecting gasoline into the anuses of detainees in Bagram. So much worse levels of abuse, and now the Obama administration has taken exactly the position that the Bush administration took with respect to the prisoners at Guantanamo, which is that they have absolutely no rights. There aren't even Article 5 hearings. The Obama administration will not even tell the public or the world how many of the prisoners are from foreign countries and which foreign countries they are from. So very, very frightening news for an administration that came out, that was elected on the basis of change, asking for change that we can believe in, and that came out on day one seemingly swinging, saying that they would shut Guantanamo down.
So what brings you to American University?
As I said, we think that it's an informed public, and we do think that people at the universities are trying to gain a grasp of the world, and we are hoping that the future of America lies in the hands of universities and university students like this.
Have you done this at several other schools?
We have done this for a number of years in any number of locations. I'm trying to think if in D.C. we want to do it at Catholic U and we want to do it at Georgetown. Tonight, Michael Ratner, the head of the Senate, president of the Center for Constitutional Rights, who's sort of an American hero at this point as regards to the fight for habeas corpus, he's speaking at Georgetown University. And here at American on April 13th, Jeremy Scahill, a very well-known reporter for Democracy Now! And The Nation magazine, he wrote the book on Blackwater, the rise of the world's most powerful mercenary company. He's going to be speaking here along with Matthew Alexander. Matthew Alexander is a former interrogator at Abu Ghraib. We were very much against torture. So,
Have you been getting a lot of reactions from students around here?
well, no. Well, we just really arrived here, and we're hoping that folks warm up to us. We would like very much for students to feel welcome to come join us, as we are down in front of the White House every day from 11 to 1. I'd like them to be aware that the campaign exists and that there are a series of public venues, including those on this campus, but there are others, including on April 6th we're having a folk music festival, folk and arts festival for social justice at the Friends Center here in Washington, D.C. So we'd want their participation. I do think we have very good credentials. We've been endorsed by United for Peace and Justice, Pax Christi International, the Torture Survivors and Support, Torture Abolition Survivors Support Coalition Task, the September 11 Families for Peaceful Tomorrows, the War Resisters League, SOA Watch, IVAW, Rock Vets Against the War. So all of those groups have endorsed us. All the mainline peace groups have endorsed the campaign.
You said the last time you were here, you were removed from campus. What happened?
Hey, it's a different world from when I went to school, and I understand that's a little while ago. But you used to be able to post anything. It's a very nice thing to have public places where things can be posted. And I don't know really, what people could put up that would be so offensive that everything needs to be restricted. But apparently here you have to apply sort of a week in advance to get anything up, and you have to have a student activities stamp on anything that you want to post around the campus. So we thought we had done that, and we actually thought we had permission to come on and bring the orange suits and black hoods onto the campus. We had permission to put the leaflets in a limited number of places, and apparently we had no permission to bring students on in the orange jumpsuits and black hoods. So we tried. I mean, a number of people had gone out and taken a portion of their day, and we were standing there a few feet away, and there were only a handful of us, so we did try and negotiate on the spot. And we were told at one point that we were an unauthorized entity, which is an interesting kind of bureaucratic term. It sounds a little like being an illegal alien. And I said that to the guy. He was cool, and he kind of laughed at it, but it didn't stop him from kicking us off the campus. Not a big deal, and very happy to be back and hoping to connect with some of the students. I did send out an email to the, I could only do it today, earlier today, was to the social justice groups on campus, just letting them know we were here and hoping. There's really a great deal to know, and it's sort of a civics lesson to begin to study what exactly has happened and how things went so horribly awry at Guantanamo. And let's be clear, that has not been corrected. Not only has it not been corrected, it appears at this point that the Obama administration is sticking by some of the policies of the Bush administration as regards the extraordinary power of the president. So it's very, very fearsome, and I hope we are freedom-loving people enough that people are willing to begin to stand up and speak as articulately as they can, however. And we'd like to try and help inform people in that discussion, and keep the spirit of freedom alive.
Can you spell your name again?
Carmen, like a Spanish woman, C-A-R-M-E-N, Trotta, T-R-O-T-T-N. There's a graduate here with you. Maha is a graduate of American. She's a graduate student. She's one of the, you guys know each other?
No.
She's one of the reps Amnesty chapter on campus.
Okay.
So hello to her.
Great. Thank you.